It's hard to explain, guys. The end of flight fade on that thing is so extreme, but the flip up is so easy. It is definitely not like a disc I've thrown before. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, today we are back at Rat's Nest, my home course, which means I have created another masterpiece or monstrosity, depending how you would look at it. And this one really has me intrigued. So personally, I just want to jump right into it. So let's get a closer look at this beautiful disc. We have kind of that neutral 8-speed rim, and as you can see, this beautiful honeycomb, if you will, does come through the bottom. But believe it or not, guys, this is golf ball dimples, just scaled up to the size of our disc. So you guys let me know, is it more of a waffle disc? It does definitely have that honeycomb feel, but like I mentioned, it is golf ball dimples. I know there have been 1 or 2 discs in the past that disc golf has experimented with this technology, and I believe it was only on the rim. I don't remember the names. I think Ching may have done one, and some disc called the Inferno tried it. But this one is the only accurate representation, as it is scaled to size. Now, I have no idea how it's gonna throw, and I'm really excited for it, so we're gonna jump right in to the test hole. Finally, time to figure out the winner of this amazing blackout. Another shout out to Doomsday Discs for donating these to the channel. But before we do that, I want to give a huge shout out to Bug Eye Gamer, my first YouTube membership supporter. He chose the gas for Greta option. It's just a couple dollars a month, guys, but it helps me out tremendously. So a huge shout out there. But now it's time to figure out the winner. Congratulations to MD Frank. Either message the Facebook page or hop on the website. My email's right there as well. Shoot me an email. We will get all the details ironed out. And guys, I do giveaways quite often, so you'll have a chance to win another one soon. 2 quick things to inform you guys on as we jump into this. One, I'm not entirely sure on the weight. I think it's about 165 to 170, so a little bit on the lighter side, as well as this rim is very thin because we have the honeycomb protruding through the bottom. Now, we tried to resolve this issue on a different disc I made and accidentally created a tilt. So we definitely don't want to go down that road again. But we are here. We are at the test hole. 320 feet, dead straight, and it goes uphill towards the end of the fairway. I'm going to throw this thing pretty hard because I am pretty excited. On a bit of a hyzer, hopefully we see a nice flip up. Oh baby, look at it turn. Oh, it's fighting back. Holy crap, that was weird. That turned a lot more than I expected, but it also faded at the end a lot harder than I expected. 2 very drastic flight paths in a relatively short distance. So that's actually very exciting because a lot of people, I know I do, struggle. You're forcing something very overstable to have that kind of flight path. There was no forcing needed. Let's run it back one more time on this hole. That may have been the best first throw so far in our Mad Scientist series, but there are 2 downsides, unfortunately. The thumb actually really struggles to get grip in the honeycomb. I think we need about 4 of these suckers hollowed out and maybe in 4 different places where the thumb can really nestle down in there. And also, on the flip side, with them protruding through the bottom, when I threw this thing, I threw it pretty hard. It hurt the finger. It hurt the pointer finger. When this thing gets some spin, starts going, drags on your fingers, you can definitely feel it. But, you know, those are minor downsides. So we're gonna give it one more rip. I'm gonna try to keep it lower, a little more hyzer, see if we can maintain the flip up, not so much the big turnover. Oh yeah. You know, it's weird. It is weird. It's really easy to get the flip up, but that fade is strong. Like I can easily say I have not thrown a disc like that. Not quite. So here we are. We're gonna attempt our first little flick shot here. Not really an easy one. We need to get a little turn, but hopefully the end of flight fade crashes in for us. This is actually a pretty nice test because this turn that we need to get around is quite sharp and the left finish is needed. So let's see how it does. We're probably I don't know, 90 feet or so, 80, 90 feet away. We're gonna try that again. Just call that our first breakfast ball of the round, or breakfast disc. Get it? Waffle cone. Anyway. Hey, that's parked. That's parked. It was a little high, but it got that really short, quick S-flight there. And again, that's very achievable with like my Justice, very overstable, but if you misthrow it, you know, it hyzers out into oblivion. That thing, it really is unique. And as always, guys, if you are enjoying the Mad Scientist experience or any of my other disc golf content, please take a second, hit that subscribe button, and hey, check out the website. I put a lot of work into that. I would greatly appreciate it. Get yourself a piece of merch if you want, but if you do, send me a picture. Send me a picture on Facebook or email it to me. I've had a few people do that, and I love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. On my last few Mad Scientist videos, a lot of people said, Hunter, why aren't you trying the Tomahawk or the Thumber? Say less. Did you see that? That just did a full 360 and then it started to pan out. Can you imagine if it actually panned out? That was so crazy. It did well over a 360. We'll try it again. I'll try to throw it a little harder to see if I can push that rotation faster, and that disc might actually pan out after throwing the Tomahawk. That one was better, but it's not gonna pan out too much, but it is flying pretty straight. I mean, they're working out well. Should give us a fun approach shot. Before I make this throw in, one thing with the Tomahawk and Thumber, being that we do have the honeycomb protruding through the bottom, there's not a lot of rim width to work the thumb or your finger when you go for those big shots. So one kind of, I guess, not very significant downfall. It's hard, I'm telling you, the honeycomb's hard. It's so foreign feeling when you're trying to like soft grip that thing. Like the thumb just has no traction. Oh, that was actually pretty close. Truly, at a slow speed, that thing's like flicking like my boss. Like, it's hard to explain, guys. The end of flight fade on that thing is so extreme, but the flip up is so easy. It is definitely not like a disc I've thrown before. So you guys let me know, we gotta make a vote here. What is the name of this disc? If you have any of your own ideas, throw them in the comments. But I've been torn. We have the waffle and then we have the golf ball. So I was either thinking the golf ball bomber or the waffle crisp disc. You know, that cereal that I'm pretty sure rotted your teeth out but tasted amazing. I've been reminiscing on it lately. So those are my two options. You guys let me know if you like one of those or if you have something better. And to wrap up our day with the honeycomb / golf ball disc, we have the not so watery water hole. I like to choose this one a lot because it's definitely the most open hole here, and you really can get a sense of its flight path, and it does require a pretty finicky line. 285 feet, you can go absolutely dead straight at it or try to work that big S flight. We are gonna go with the S flight because honestly, I think on the flip up, we won't get that far. As soon as it decides to dig in, it's going to dig in. But if we can push, I'm gonna push this quite wide. I'm gonna try to almost make it go out of sight maybe, and then have it crash back in. Probably, if I were to guess, in the basket. So let's get to it. Out of sight, fight through. Oh, we're short. We're short. It was really hard to commit to that, but it did work. It did completely go out of sight and fight back in. It's so interesting. And last but certainly not least, does it putt? Yep. Oh, called it in the air. And it's crazy because when I called it, it was like lined up with the camera, but I knew once it decided to dump, it would dump. That's Fantastic. And that wraps up today's video on our newest mad scientist experiment. Now guys, I will say out of all the discs I've thrown, this one truly might stand out the most. A lot of the other experiments that we've done have had success, but in varying forms. Some more than others and some with little to zero success. But this disc truly threw different than any disc I have thrown personally. The flip up capabilities reminded me of my Valkyrie and like the blackout, the Doomsday blackout. Flippy, like it does flip up easy, but when it decides to bite, it's like a Firebird or even my Scepter. It is truly a very bizarre disc. And you know, you can force over more overstable discs and get the same flight path, but the ease of flip up on this really is very interesting. I had to tone down the power to get the flip up, but if I wanted to push distance, I put all the power I wanted into it and it would just continue to turn, and then dump. Now this thing definitely will not be a super long thrower, I can't imagine. And honestly, with how it feels in the hand, I think if you really try to add more and more power, you're gonna get some more slippage, some more rash burn. So I think that kind of 330 distance is just where it sits perfectly. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.